Hello everybody, welcome to Code Nepi, and today I'm going to show you how to connect through SSH to a device that is not in the same network. For this, I'm going to consider two laptops as shown in figure 1 of the article. If you want to check the article, the link appears in the description of the video. As shown in figure 1, the laptops are Laptop Office and Laptop HP. Laptop HP, for example, is connected to your home router, and Laptop Office is connected to the router of your office. Keep in mind that your office could be in Japan and your home could be in Peru. It doesn't matter where they are. What matters is that they are connected to the internet. Our goal is to use the Laptop Office to connect to the Laptop HP. In particular, to connect to Ortiz at HP and Guest at HP. For this, there are 3 steps to follow. The first one is to install SSH server. The second one is to set port forwarding. And the third one is to use SSH to connect to the HP device. In the first step, we need to install SSH server in the device that we want to connect. In our case, it is the HP device. So in the terminal, we type sudo apt install open SSH server. In my case, I already have installed open SSH server, so instead I will check what version do I have. For this, I type sudo dpkg and I list open SSH server. The password is requested. I type the password, and as you can see, this is the version that has been installed. I press Q and clear to clean my screen. To be sure that you have properly installed open SSH server, there are some extra steps to take. These are given in the article, so I suggest that you check the article if you want to be sure of what you are doing. Here we will jump straight to the second step of the SSH connection to a remote device, which is set port forwarding. In this case, in the terminal, we need to type IP root show default. By doing so, we get the local IP of our router, which is the one over here. What we need to do now is open a browser and type the IP. We type 192.168.178.1 and press enter. As you can see, we are now at the login page of our router. What we need to do now is type the password to access to the configuration of our router. This password appears on the backside of the router. In fact, on the backside, you will find 2 passwords. One password is the one that gives you access to the internet, and the second password is the one that gives you access to the configuration page of your router. In my case, as you could see, the website is in German because my internet provider is a German company. In your case, this will be totally different. So, to make it simple, let's go back to the article where everything is in English. In the article, let's go to figure 2. As you can see in figure 2, we have the same login page but now in English. We type the password, and once we type the password, we access to the configuration page of our router. On this page, you need to find the option port releases or port forwarding. Because we have different providers, I cannot guide you exactly on how to find this option. In my case, for example, once I click in port releases, what I see over here is the external IP of my router. What you need to know is that the router has 2 IPs, the local one and the external one, which gives you access to the external world. That is, external devices can access to your network via this external IP. Now, we need to click over here where it says Add Device for Sharing, because we want to share one device with the external world. Once we click over here, we need to choose what device we want to share. In my case, it is the HP device. When I click on New Release, this configuration page appears. Here is the most important part of the configuration. What we need to do is to set the port forwarding. We set an SSH connection via the protocol TCP. We choose the external port to be 1132 and the internal port to be 22. Keep in mind that my provider gives me the option to choose an external port. If your provider doesn't give you that option, it means that it is using by default the port 22, which is the default SSH port. But what does this configuration mean? What it means is that if an external device accesses to our network via this port, then the router will redirect this connection to the port 22 of the HP device, and that's why it is called port forwarding. Once we set this, we click OK, and as you can see now, the port forwarding is active. To verify that the configuration is OK, we access to the following website, which appears in the article, this one over here, portchecktool.com. When we go to this website, what we see over here is the external IP of our home network, which is the one over here. All what we need to do on this website is to go to this area over here and type here the external port. In my case is 1132. I click on check your port and I get a success message, which means that everything is okay. One thing that you need to pay attention to is that, for example, over here, the external IP ends in 207. But if you check the article, the external IP ends in 210. This is because the internet provider is constantly changing the IP. So I suggest that you always check what is your current IP with Port Check Tool. Now we are ready for the last step, which is use SSH to connect to the remote device. Now we access to our office laptop and open the terminal. Of course, because this is a real office laptop, here it doesn't say office. What we need to do now is to SSH to the HP device. For that we type SSH or add, and we consider here the external IP, which is 87.123.243.207, and we add the port that we want to use, which is 1132. We press enter and now it asks for the password of Ortiz at HP. I type the password and as you could see now we are connected to Ortiz at HP. To verify that we are in the HP device, we can do so by creating a file. So in the HP device we go to Files, Documents, and as you can see the folder is empty. Now we are going to create a file in my Documents directory. So now using the Office device we go to Documents and then we create the file with touch nepi.txt. As you can see, as soon as I press enter, the file is created in the HP device. To close the session, we press the keys Ctrl D on the keyboard and now we are back to Ortiz at Office. To finish, now let's access to guests at HP. For that, instead of Ortiz, we consider guest and press enter. The password of the user guest at HP is requested. We type it and as you can see, now we are connected to guest, and that's all. We have successfully managed to connect via SSH from one device to another that is in a different network. Thank you for watching and see you in the following video. Bye bye.